Good morning, everybody. Today is November 1st. Yes. My name is Laura. I'm Healthy Carnivore. I go over recipes, different things that I make. These are things that you can do yourself very easily if you have these ingredients, and you can get these ingredients. I do have a website. It is russellbrands with a Z.com, where I do sell the products that I make. And most all of my products are made with beef tallow. I render down ribeye fat and put that in there. So I'm going to go over today's recipe. I've had a request to make spearmint flavored chapstick. So the recipe that I'm going to give you, I put the ingredients out in the description. I didn't put the measurements, so I'm going to tell you. I do have, if you ever did keto, you have the old food scale. So that's the only time that girl ever comes out. I don't weigh anything else. I don't count calories. I don't care what any of that stuff is. I'm trying to sneeze right now, so I apologize. Anyway, so I do use that. And then the little containers for the chapstick that I use, they're BPA, non toxic, no bisphenol, and no phthalates. But it doesn't really say, let's see. Da-da-da. It's called Eufy Lip Balm White. I don't know. Anyway, that's the ones I use. Then I have my little syringe thing with no needle, of course, and that's how I take the melted stuff and put it down into the containers. So anyway, let's see who is here. Boy, you guys are up early. Shelly, hi and good morning. Good morning to you. Karen also said good morning. Anne also said good morning. So, little bit about today. So I am on call, so that's why I'm dressed and ready to go. I do have a patient that I need to go get admitted to home health. So I'm going to do that. And then when we come back home, we as in me coming back home, get to help dig out I don't know, it's called a cap maybe on top of our septic. Yeah, I think being a carnivore and maybe the grease going down has caused a big plug. So we're hoping that's all it is. Anyway, that's okay. Now is the perfect time. Get it fixed right now in case crap hits the fan next week. So I'm going to show you right here. I just have a saucepan. It has water. I have hard water, so I do put white vinegar in there just so I don't get the chalky stuff all over. So I just take, this is how I do it. You don't have to do it this way. You can do it double boiler. If you've got special glass bowls you want to use, you can. I use a little half pint. I've got the tallow in there. I've got the organic beeswax, and then that is shea butter. Okay. So I will melt those all together. So I'm going to get that turned on so that can get heating up and boiling. And then I'll go over the amounts. And I did three times the amount that this recipe calls for, because this recipe, I think, would only make maybe 2 or 3 chapsticks. So since I put this up on my website, I always make a bigger batch. So I'll tell you the amount that it said. So it said 24 grams of shea butter, 12 grams of beeswax, 6 grams of either coconut oil or tallow. I do tallow. I like the way it makes my lips feel. Um, I never have, I used to have horrible chapped lips, and I was one of those that's just a nervous habit. But one of the only prescription I take, theophylline for my asthma, is very drying. It causes you to have dry mouth. It causes you, which I really don't have that anymore. But man, my lips used to get chapped. And then 6 to 10 drops of essential oil. I also put a few drops of vitamin E in mine. You do not have to do that for yours if you don't want to. Good morning, Kathy. So that's what I do with mine. So do the vitamin E, okay? And then I do the spearmint, which is the same spearmint essential oil I use for my tooth powder. I don't still have the name of the company that I get the organic shea butter from, but the bag had a tear in it, so I had to put it in a Ziploc bag. And then this is the beeswax, and I don't have that name right now either. But you can go out. You just want organic. If you can get it locally, beeswax, that's the best. Which my last batch, that's what I had. I'm out of that. They're going to be working on that. I think he's got 7 hives now, so I'll be getting that back in, which will be nice. And then the shea butter, same thing, organic raw shea butter if you want to do that. If you don't have tallow, you can interchange that with coconut oil if you want. So that'll be completely up to you guys. Um, but then this is about the color that it makes when it does. I mean, it's not pretty, it's not going to be pink, and it's not going to be all those things that a lot of people like to have. Might put some on. Um, but it stays on and it is so good. Like, even if you're drinking water, coffee, things like that, 2 hours later, you're like, I don't have to reapply. So that's kind of nice. I do wear this when I go hunting. I put a lot of tallow on my skin in the morning before I go hunting, which will be coming up for shotgun season. But I slather it on pretty thick, kind of let it soak in. Um, I don't do all the spray stuff. I don't put the stinky, I don't put deer pee on me. I'm not putting my own pee on me. I'm not putting deer pee on me. But I don't spray down except for my boots. Walking into my stand, I only spray my boots with send away stuff. Kathy says, heading out to exercise. All of you beautiful people have a blessed day. Awesome. Karen said, I did a small test batch of the tri-tip fat. How do I purify only one more time? Yes, I do 2 renders. So I do the first one, and then, if you have like a sieve or cheesecloth, you can pour it through that, put it in a saucepan, and just very low, just where you can see it's kind of bubbling, just a low rolling boil type thing. That's what I do. And I do that just until I see those impurities kind of coming up, and you'll see bubbles and you'll see like floaties of like little pieces of meat come up, and then you strain it again. And then I wait a couple minutes, but then I pour it right into a jar with the lid and the ring, turn it upside down after you make sure it is on very well. Cause yes, I have spilled it all over my hand and burnt the crap out of myself. So don't do that, but turn it upside down 3 to 5 minutes, let that seal get really hot, turn it back over, and it's sealed. So I've done that, and had really good outcomes. So let's see. I'm going to add a little bit more water, and then I'll tell you the fun stuff about today, other than, um, digging out a septic tank when I'm done with my patients. I want to get it just a little bit higher up on the jar, about 2/3 of the way up the jar, without trying to get it to spill all over the stove. But today we have been getting to, I shouldn't say we, because we is me, because my husband's at work, got to do dishes the old fashioned way. So my husband's like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, I've got an LEM wash basin. It's not really a wash basin. We use it for deer meat. Like when we're cutting off the deer meat and stuff, we put it in that. It's a great big gray tub. Anyway, and then, do what we need to do to grind up our meat and stuff like that. But then I was like, I'll put hot soapy water in there. I'll do the dishes. We've got to spigot outside. I'll dump it outside, because anything we put down the sink, toilet, or tub is wanting to not go. Now it will, but it's really, 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 really slow. So he took a shower first thing this morning. I did not, and I'm okay with that. Um, or wash my hair. That's okay too. Anyway, so I didn't want a lot of extra stuff going down the pipe, because it is very, very slow. I've tried hot boiling water over the last 3 days, because he was like, "It's probably your fat accumulation," and I said, "It probably is." Um, but I'm not gonna quit eating carnivore just because the thing is I don't pour it ever down the sink. I render all of mine, and then there's a little bit that's gonna be on the pan, but I really don't dump stuff down there, um, down the sink. Anyway, it's an old septic system. He's lived here 23 years. This is the first time he's really had to do anything with it. So that's just the way it goes. And I told him this morning, he was like, "Oh, I hate that you have to do, that with the wash pan." I'm like, "That's how I grew up." Like, he grew up in a pretty decent town. And they didn't have a ton of extra, but they had, a washer and dryer, they had all those kinds of things. We did not have that. We didn't even have a TV till I was 7, at least 7, and then we didn't get our first car till I was 13. So, and we didn't have a washer and dryer. We literally did the washboard in the bathtub, and we had clothesline outside, and we had clothesline inside in the bathroom for wintertime and hung our stuff there. So I'm like, that's why I said during the whole C stuff in 2021, the lady who was walking me out of the hospital was like, "Well, you can't just go without having a job." And I'm like, "Oh, yes, I can. I can live very minimally. I mean, my house is like 930 square feet. I can live very minimally. And that's not going to help make me be controlled to do something I'm totally against." So that did not work out for them well. And then hopefully the septic people are going to be able to get here and see if they can. It's not the pipe, it's not the septic going that direction. It's somewhere from the house going out to the septic, which my husband worked on until like 9 o'clock last night, with a snake. It's called, just a little metal wire thing that you put through. Did not really help much. So that's just the way it goes. Um, Not what you want to do on your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but that's okay. So, does anybody have any questions about the recipe? Um, or is there something else you would like to see that I make? I think all of the lotion I've done, shampoo. I think I showed a little bit of the conditioner bar. It's pretty easy to make. I'm trying to think of all the other stuff. Shaving cream. The thing with, I haven't done a video on the shaving cream. It's pretty easy to do. It's labor intensive because you have to whip it for so much longer, with like a hand mixer, or if you have like the stand mixer, but it takes forever and nobody wants to hear that and how loud it is on there. So I am going to go over one other thing. It'll probably get me demonetized. Um, And this is because I've had a couple people reach out to me, which I already talked with them, but I thought, yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. A lot of people are concerned with what might happen this next week, no matter which side you're on. Really just need to be on America's side, is my opinion. But anyway, um, they were like, "What can we do? What can we do? We need to get prepared. I don't have any money." And I'm like, if you have $10 that you're going to go spend on other stuff, which most people have, if they just look around, tighten up other things that they don't need. Um, I'm like, canned tuna, sardines, things that are shelf stable. Um, you can get butter because it can sit out at room temperature. Who cares? Our butter sits out all the time. Summertime, doesn't matter. Um, Bottled water is not the best, but bottled water is something you could have, and then the salt. And if you're not gonna have time to get Redmond's real salt, I would get the pink Himalayan and do the best you can. I mean, that's all you can really do, is the best you can to be prepared in case anything happens. I always tell people fill up their gas tank the day before. Um, Make sure your phones are charged. If you have, like we have, lights that you just charge, and then we have battery lights. And I have a couple solar lights that you can use. So I have those things all kind of ready to go just in case. So that's the things that I would really do. just to have enough stuff for a little while. So I guess we'll all wait and see what happens, and maybe nothing will happen, and that'd be perfect. Um, that's what I would prefer to have happen is nothing. So I'm just gonna get this kind of stirred around in there. So another thing is when you're heating up these oils, I'll go back to that and get off my soapbox. Um, I only melt the oils on the heat. Once that's done, I pull the container out, and that's when I add in the vitamin E and the essential oil. It's really not I mean, the oil, vitamin E would be fine, but the essential oil, it's really not recommended to do that. Um, I'm not really sure why, because there's no alcohol. Let me just look. Yeah. So there's no alcohol in it. I'm not sure why. I just know that every recipe that I have made, come across, done anything with, they all say not to do that. I really do need to sneeze, but for some reason, I just can't. So I'm going to get this out here in just a second, and then I'll show you kind of how I do this. And then I let mine set, since I'm doing this before 8 o'clock in the morning, by 4 o'clock this afternoon, I would say it'll be ready to go. It'll be solidified well enough. And then I just put my lids on. I make up my little stickers that go on. And you can get those little stickers that you can write on if you want. Of course, since I do a business, I actually have stickers that have my stuff right in there. Always use hot pads, whatever. Okay. So I'll kind of show you. We were down in our basement, and we have like our house is 125 years old. So our basement is like the old sandstone. So it's dry. It's not dry. Anyway, so this is the oil. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11 of the vitamin E. Now, this one with the spearmint essential oil, hang on 1 second. For the essential oil, the spearmint's not as strong as like the peppermint. The peppermint is stronger, but I'm probably going to do 30 drops or so. Just because the recipe said 6 to 10. And since I tripled that, all right. And then I just mix it around. It smells really good. Maybe I'll like spearmint chapstick too. And then it depends. I'll try to get this up on the website before I go to see my patient, but I'm not going to guarantee that. It'll just depend because I like to take a picture and everything. So this is warm, but you can handle the top of it. Oh, yeah, that smells really good. So literally, I just take one of these syringes, not this syringe, because that just fell apart. So let's do this one. We'll improvise. We'll see. There we go. So this is how I do all of them. I literally do that. Okay. I do that into each batch. But because I want to get this done with it, I'm going to use the bigger one. Okay. Now, I will tell you, as these cool, you have to kind of keep adding more to it. I don't know why. It's just like I don't know where it goes. But anyway, otherwise, you have dips in them. So sometimes If you've bought these from me before and you see a little dip in there, it's just the way it is. I don't know why. So I do that and I get them all full and then I let them sit and chill. And like I said, you will have to keep adding to this, but you'll have to keep I always keep the water on the stove so that I can go back because this is so thin, it wants to just come right out of this. Perfect. Okay. So that is basically what I do. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, you can always leave a comment. Yes, Kim, this is for you because I believe you were the one that requested whether I could do that. So I did it. And I'll get them up on the site. But if you got your own stuff, you can do it yourself too. Um, but I really like the scent. I wasn't sure because when it comes to the tooth powder, I really like the spearmint and the I like the spearmint and the cinnamon. If I could just use my words today. Not sure where my words went. I think it's because I didn't sleep well because I was mad about the septic tank. Anyway, so everybody, I'm going to remind everybody to Monday night, don't forget to watch us live Monday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is our 52 weeks, our whole year of our Meaty Mondays with the Fierce Felines. Um, it's going to be amazing. And we're even going to have our link kind of in the description and in the comments so that if somebody wants to come on for a couple minutes and just say, if we've ever helped them, if there's anything we've ever done um, to help somebody, because that's really what we're here to do is try to help people. I try to do that in my everyday life. Sometimes you get it done and sometimes you don't. Yeah, this I did 3 times the batch that I gave you guys the amounts. I did 3 times that amount, and I have 10 of these um, chapsticks. So I'd say that's about, and I have plenty more. So let me show you. So basically, I have that much left of the chapstick. Boy, that's noisy, isn't it? Sorry about that. Sounds a little crazy. Anyway, so I will get these finished off. Like I said, you have to come back every so often and just put more on top. And these are setting up really quickly because I'm frugal and my house is at 64 degrees. It might be 65 because I had the stove on. So it doesn't take too long for this stuff. Then I'll show you what else I do. So I take this, I'll write spearmint on the top, I'll let it cool. And then let's say I start getting low on what I have up on the website for that chapstick for whatever scent it is that I do. Then I put that up on the website. And this will go in my prep room and it'll solidify. But when I need to make more, I just put it in that water with the white vinegar because, like I said, I have very, 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 very hard water. Boy, I'm going to feel really good if we get down into that septic tank and it's like all this calcium lime and crap and not my fat off of my stuff. We'll see. Anyway, you guys have a good rest of your Friday and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to get off on anything else. So I will let you guys go. I appreciate you guys for watching this. And you can always, if you want to see my crazy opinions, you can always go to Facebook and find me under Laura P. Russell. I do offend people quite often, but it's okay. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you guys. Please show up Monday for our program that we do every Monday night. So I think you guys will be very excited to see what we have. All right. I'll see you guys later.